Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for joining me for a new video. As you can see, it is beautiful outside, so make sure you get out every now and then, get some sunlight. I know we talk a lot about e-commerce, and that means we're inside at a computer under artificial light, but make sure you get outside every now and then. Now, I'm gonna throw on my sunglasses because I don't know why, my eyes have always been so sensitive to light, so this makes it a lot easier for me to be outside. So today I want to talk about being in the lower Amazon merch tiers. I was talking to a student from one of my courses earlier today about feeling stuck. And I know we've all been there before, feeling stuck in those low tiers. And, you know, it's obviously a lot easier to do it the second or third time around. Now, I only have one Amazon merch account, but I have helped quite a few other people with theirs. And, getting out of the lower tiers when you've done it before feels quite a bit easier. That said, nobody can guarantee you're going to make sales, right? The sales are out of our control, but what we can do is, check those boxes of all the best practices and give ourselves the best chance of making sales. Now, the person I was talking to earlier, they are in my course, so they know what the checklist is. And for instance, you guys subscribe to my channel. What do we normally harp on? We harp on things like design a lot. And it's not that we even critique the designs. We just talk about selling on the internet and things you can do as best practices to increase the likelihood of getting clicked in search results. That's not what I'm going to talk about in this video because this person I was talking to already knew that. Okay, and if you guys aren't aware of what I'm talking about, subscribe to my channel or consider checking out what I've got available at rynsmethod.com. But I want to talk about, again, specifically low tiers, Amazon merch, and I want to talk about upload strategy. Now, this person is a little bit guilty of overthinking everything, if I feel like, and that includes the research process for print on demand. And it's okay if you're going through something for like the first time or the first few times to slow down, take your time, make sure you're doing it correctly. But I think, sometimes we think that we didn't get that instant gratification, that instant success, therefore we messed up. And if we can just put in a little bit of extra time, that maybe all of a sudden overnight we'll start making regular sales. And I gotta break the news, guys, because trust me, I've been there before. For me, it was with Amazon FBA. When I was doing product research the first time, well, before I launched my first product, so it wasn't the first time, but like, I iterated through the process probably 20 to 30 times over the span of 2.5 to 3 months before selecting my first product. You don't need to do it that many times, guys. Chances are I passed by a handful of products that I could have sold that would have been successful. Now, my student was selling print on demand, not Amazon FBA products. And with print on demand, the research matters even less. Like, they were obsessing about finding the golden egg of niches, and they're in tier 25, so I get it. You don't have that many upload slots. But, your time is, again, what's your end goal? To make money? Well, reverse engineer that. How do you make the most money? It's not from spending like 20, 40 minutes, an hour or more on researching niches. You don't need the perfect niche with print on demand. And even if you find it, it doesn't mean you're going to make a sale for sure, right? It definitely can increase the odds. But, also some of the niches that they ended up finding were a little bit like too risky. I was like, hey, if you sell this, you might get rejected and get in actual trouble, or, not for IP infringement, but just for, for going against the grain with what's publicly acceptable in 2021. That's the hint for some of the niches that they found. As far as the numbers go, perfect niches. But as far as the don't risk your account goes, I said, nah, it's not worth it. But I just want to remind you guys, like, the best thing to do, honestly, is create quality designs in niches that we know make sales. But you don't have to find the perfect high demand, low competition niche. Because, by the way, it's print on demand. The barrier of entry is so low that if you find the perfect niche, 2 hours later, you may find yourself swamped in new competition because they found it just like you did. So I'm not trying to talk you out of like finding a new trend, by the way. I mean, if you do that, that's awesome. But those are rare. You can't count on those happening. What I'm talking about is like, you can, like, when I say find a good niche, maybe don't go straight for like unicorn niche. Maybe go for rhinos. Rhinos are the chubby unicorns. And make sure it says save the chubby unicorns as like a niche that sells really well, that makes regular evergreen sales every single day, but without going to like the highest level niche that everybody knows about, like unicorns, right? That's just one quick example. Now, I do always say, if you're in the low tiers, chase trends. So maybe don't go for the rhinos. I just threw that out there as an example of like, you don't always have to overthink things. Like, one of the videos I did in my course for my students is I went live and I said, you know what, we're just going to do random research. We're not looking for the perfect niche. We're just going to look for niches that move. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to go grab pre-made designs and then throw them into Photoshop and then add some text. And then it's like, what do I always say? Graphic plus text, or text only if your graphics suck, right? But if you could just get a good graphic plus some text, maybe above and below, or just above, or wrapped around in a circle, anything like that, that design's easily good enough. And if it doesn't sell within a week, it's okay. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. Nobody can guarantee you sales unless they're buying your product, right? So what I'm really trying to say is just make the design good enough. Oftentimes, like a graphic from a professional designer, like if you go to All Sunsets, I'll put a link in the description. Those guys are professionals. They make these sunset graphics that you can pretty much use with any niche at all. The way I use them would blow some of your minds that I make sales in some of these dumb ways. I'll say it, they're dumb some of the times, not always. But yeah, you can just go grab a subscription and then you're good. You've got the graphics you need to make any niche. Now, if you're going to do a rhino niche, go grab a graphic of a rhino. You may not find that on that site, but there are other places you can go. The point is just make the design good enough. Now, here's the other thing that I told the student. Recycle your designs. And when I say that, what I mean is, I see the sun's coming back out, so I got to pop these back on. When I say recycle your designs, what I'm really talking about is if a design hasn't sold, don't be afraid to replace it. Now, you don't have to follow some rigorous schedule, but in tier 25 right now, as of recording this in April 2021, I say that because these limits change, or they've changed a lot in the past, so I'm not sure these won't change in the future. But in tier 25, you can upload 3 new products a day. So if you do the math, 25 divided by 25 divided by 3, every 8 days, you should recycle your whole catalog if you've never made a sale. Now, I do typically recommend not deleting products that have made sales because they'll sit on Amazon's catalog forever, making you money. So ignore the products that got you out of tier 10, don't delete those, but the rest of them, churn them, I think it's called churn, right? The turnover. Don't be afraid to delete and replace. Now, if it's 2 new products a day or 1 new product a day, it's still better than 0. If you've got a design for a holiday that already came to pass, obviously delete that unless it's sold. If it's sold, keep it. If it didn't, don't be afraid to post new designs. That is really the key that I'm not sure a lot of people do. I would assume a lot of people do, but I'm not really sure. Now, another thing real quick before I lose this train of thought. I don't think the video needs to be much longer actually, but like I remember being in the low tiers, and the one thing I didn't do or I wasn't good about doing was having a repository for my designs. What I mean by that is like I would make a design that I really liked. And back then I'm not gonna say I didn't know what I was doing, but like I wasn't good at graphic design. I still don't think I'm great, but I was learning as I went back then. And I would spend all this time on a graphic, then I would upload it, and then I would delete the graphic from my computer. And let's say like 2 weeks later, I need to delete that product from my merch account to free up space for a new one. Well, what the heck? If I want to re-upload that product, I need the graphic. Why didn't I save it? Or if I did save it, I don't know where I put it. It's lost. So you want to be good about maintaining a file system. And I've actually got a friend working on a solution that's going to it's going to change print on demand forever, honestly. He's got a team of engineers around the world that are really good. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say that much about it because it's still in beta. And so I'm not pitching you anything, but I'm just letting you guys know that, this is one place you can turn to basically have a CRM for all of your designs that, by the way, you can also then use upload automation straight out of the CRM and push them to all the platforms that we sell on, and have like tag generators working for you automatically. So it's going to be crazy, and it's coming soon, or at least that's what he said, but we'll see. It's been in the works for a while. Anyways, save your designs. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes that's as simple as just like using Google Drive, right? Google Drive is free. And the reason I say Google Drive is because it's cloud-based. That way, if you're on a laptop sometimes and you're on a desktop sometimes, or maybe you have your work laptop and your home laptop, it's silly not to be able to access a file that you can literally drag, drop into Google Drive, and then it sits there. And you'll never need to worry about it again because you know it's going to be there. All right? And it's like, I think I pay like $5 a month, maybe 10 for 100 gigabytes of space. So you can consider upgrading as well. I think I can put a link in the description if you guys want to look into that. I don't know if you get like a discount for using my link or not, but I'm pretty sure I do have a referral that may give you a credit or something like that. By the way, I'm just throwing it out there. Like I pay for Google Drive, so I'm saying, hey, it's an option. There's other things you can do as well, or just keep them organized on your hard drive. Now, actually, on my girlfriend's YouTube channel, we did a video talking about organizing files. I'll find it and I'll link to it in the YouTube cards right here above my head, so you guys can check that out as well. So I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helps shed some light on being in the low tiers of Amazon merch. Do not give up. Again, make your designs ready, good, enough. Don't sweat them. Don't spend 3 hours on one design. Don't spend 2 hours on research. Find a niche that's selling. Make a design that's good enough. Don't be afraid to delete it later, a week down the road or 8 days down the road, and replace it with something new, but make sure you keep your designs saved somewhere, at a minimum on your computer. I don't know why, but I'm like a clean desktop freak, and I probably just deleted them off the desktop instead of making a folder and storing them there. So that was my mistake, but you live and you learn. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video till the end. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, let the YouTube algorithm know that you liked it so it shows it to more people. And if you're not subscribed, somehow roughly half of you guys aren't subscribed, which actually is a pretty good ratio for YouTube, so I'm not going to complain. Thank you to subscribers, but those of you guys that aren't subscribed, hit that button so you get the rest of my videos. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to resume the Etsy print on demand series and try to wrap it up soon this week, so I will see you then.